Do you want a chance to win up to $250,000? Well, you can at 442picks.ca. Here's how it works. Each week, you pick the winners of each Premier League match for your chance to win weekly and monthly prizes. And remember, up to $250,000 in prize money. I'm signed up, as are my Room 442 teammates Sarah Pararia and Albert Vitanian, so why not join us for your chance to win at 442picks.ca. So we should start talking about football and stuff, soccer? Room 442, afternoon sessions?
I think we should.
We're just talking about afternoon sessions.
Right.
Starting early, going for a couple of pints, extending it.
Yeah.
The best part about afternoon sessions is you can go to bed by 7 o'clock at night.
And you can wake up the next day not hungover. Because you just had hungover in your sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Because Birdie had a bit of a session yesterday.
I did. Yeah.
Any regrets?
Yes, actually, after the conversation that we had. But it was really fun. I enjoyed myself. I did take a nice nap at like 6:30 p.m.
Yeah.
So.
And you stayed asleep?
Well, I woke up at 9.
And then when did you go to bed?
1.
Oh, you should have just slept on through.
I know, but I was wired though, so. But
wow.
The one danger of that is when you wake up and you have the hangover. Oh. And it's still like before midnight.
Your head's pounding.
Yeah.
I've been there.
But it's the time of year for afternoon sessions. I think we should do this podcast before Christmas at some point and get blitzed while doing it.
Fireball.
I'm in.
Okay, let's do
Fireball?
it. Yeah, it's Christmas.
Oh. We'll make sure that we Uber home.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no
let's actually plan that. We can do it like our last show before the holidays. Let's do it. I'm so serious.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
I wonder if our homestand will cover our Ubers.
Yeah.
If they cover my Uber here and back,
yeah,
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
All the way from bumfuck nowhere?
Bumfuck nowhere. Pickering, Ontario. It's like 25 minutes away.
I know, to me, that's China.
Yeah, because we're in bumfuck nowhere right now.
Like, that is just a different country to me.
Yeah.
Pickering is a different
country. You come from Mississauga.
Yeah, but I think it's because he's on the west side that it's so much further.
It essentially is the same thing.
You know what I mean?
I think it's the same distance, more or less.
It must be,
Scarborough was like Saga, and then Pickering would be like Oakville.
Scarlem.
What?
I'm right on the border of Scarlem and Pickering.
Oh, okay.
What's Scarlem?
Like right there.
What's
like Harlem,
Scarborough.
Scarlem, yeah.
What? Oh.
Right?
Never heard that.
No, me neither. That's the first time I heard it as well.
Okay.
But yeah, Kevin, our boss, you'll be listening to this. Let us know if that Uber is available. And
he'll love it.
I remember once I was in England and it was an afternoon radio show. And the girl who was hosting, the DJ, was doing like a beer every 10 minutes. And by the end of it, she was just out of her skull.
Beer every 10 minutes. That's like that game, Century Game. Remember that?
Yeah. Is that every minute?
You sip a beer every minute? I think so.
I think it's 100.
You sip a beer?
A shot. It's a shot.
Oh, a shot of beer. That's what it is.
Well,
and I think it's every minute.
Yeah, well, then you're literally be on the floor
like,
after 10 minutes. That's too quick. Like, you'll just, I don't know.
But it is the season, right? It is the season for boozing.
It is.
It's scary.
Yeah, try and forget about the truths and realities in your life for a month and just
when you got
drink it away.
Midweek football, and you can go to the bar at noon, kick off at 2:30.
Don't you love Christmas schedule football in the
It's the best.
It's
nothing like it.
Non-stop.
Yeah.
Boxing
I mean,
day
I don't like seeing center backs with gloves on. That bothers me.
No.
But we're going to see a lot of that now.
We are.
Yeah.
Well, even like the Prem this past week, midweek games, it's the build-up slowly beginning towards the Christmas schedule, which is nuts. And like you said, nothing better than Boxing Day football because you're hungover.
You're so hungover at that point.
Yeah.
You've had 2 days of binging.
Yeah.
You're just on the couch and there's just a lineup. Like that is all I do on Boxing. It's part of the schedule.
Yeah, I love it too.
Oh, it's brilliant.
It's too. I mean, thank God for English football, right? Because so many of the leagues shut down over Christmas.
Yeah.
So no, I love it. So today we'll get to 442picks.ca later. Big news in the standings. There's been a move. And we'll get to that.
Somebody's made a move.
Jesus, pisses me off. I knew it was coming at some point, but not this soon.
This is my time to shine now.
And we'll get to ranking the weekend games,
Nice,
most intriguing to the least intriguing. I think we're going intriguing. I used to say like most watchable, but some games featuring crap teams, it's still more intriguing than a match featuring a top team. So let's kind of spin the narrative there a little bit. All right, but we'll get to that. Right now, big questions. Sarah, let's start with you. I know where you want to go here, and I think we're all potentially excited about this.
Oh, I'm excited about this because the Copa America draw has happened, and the groups are very, very interesting. Being in Canada, if Canada qualifies, whose group are they in, James?
Argentina. Kicking off Copa.
If Canada makes it to the Copa America, they will be kicking off against Argentina to start the tournament. Insane. 5-0 To who? Who knows?
Wow.
Well, it's a bit far out to be saying that.
Yeah, because they have to make it first. You're
That
right.
is honestly, my Christmas wish. I want to see Canada play Argentina. I want to see Messi against Canada. I don't care about the scoreline. I just want to see that. And
That's
I want
the game,
those
right?
players to experience that as well.
Out of any potential international in the world featuring Canada, that's the one.
That's the one I want to
So
watch.
one for any international anywhere, I think. Like, just for them to be like, well, I tweeted this last night, but I was like, can you imagine like the players? They're gonna be so lucky to share a pitch with them. They can. Kyle Larin can literally retire and just be like, yeah, you know, I played in Spain. I did this with Canada, and I once played against Lionel Messi.
Well,
like that would go down as
would.
something for them.
I don't think most of them won't be starstruck though. Most of them have played pretty big games, but there will be some for sure who are starstruck.
Oh, I think it doesn't matter who you are. Like, I think most players.
Think so?
It's Messi,
Professionals?
man. Yeah. You hear about some of these professionals like saying when they played Messi and they were like, I mean, you know who he is, but then you play against him and you're like, I mean, seeing it, because we see it, like even if I've seen him live, but like that's still not the same as sharing the pitch and watching what he does, like, you know, a couple meters from you. Like, I think it's a great experience for that.
When you're standing there and you're thinking, how can this guy be walking so much? That's the best player of all time, really? And oh shit!
All of a sudden,
what just
down
happened?
the pitch.
Yeah. How did you see that pass?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible if that's the case. So the Trinidad game suddenly takes on so much more weight.
Yeah, it's going to be.
I mean, I'll be nervous anyway watching that game because I want to see him at Copa. But knowing what waits the winner, that is like a cup final almost. It's a semi-final for the biggest game, one of the biggest games in Canadian sports history. Because Copa America is legitimate.
Right.
Copa America is way bigger than, with respect, NHL.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
And I love NHL. I'm not ribbing hockey. Kind of am. But it's much bigger than that.
Yeah.
Globally, the world's watching Copa America. And the world's watching Argentina and Messi in the opening game of Copa America against potentially Canada. So, my God, that game in Frisco, Texas in March is enormous.
Frisco, I forgot about that.
Get down there if you can.
Texas.
I know. That'd be great to go watch that game.
I just want to go over the groups really quick
Sure.
and then ask you guys what's the toughest group. So as I mentioned, Group A, Argentina, Peru, Chile, and then potentially Canada, Trinidad and Tobago. Group B sees Mexico, Ecuador, Venezuela, Jamaica. Group C, USA, Uruguay, Panama, and Bolivia. And then Group D, Brazil, Colombia, Paraguay, and either Costa Rica or Honduras. These are hard to tell.
Brazil's group, isn't it?
I mean, Brazil has a really tough group with Colombia, and Paraguay of late has been much better than they've been in the last 5-10 years.
Yeah.
Colombia is looking like they're back to that kind of 2010 Colombia, but USA, no. The Group B is the one that I feel like I can't tell who's going to get out. Mexico, Ecuador, Venezuela, Jamaica. I mean, Ecuador and Venezuela are on a resurgence right now. Mexico hasn't been great. I mean, between like, no offense to Jamaica, but I think it will be two of those three. But I have no clue. It's exciting though.
If you look at the odds right now, it's Argentina's favored. You can get them at plus 200, plus 250, depending on wherever you're looking. Then it's Brazil, and then it's Uruguay. I think it's Argentina's tournament to win. I still think they have the best team, at least in South America. And then with Brazil, I'm not sure.
They're not good.
With no Neymar, I mean, they just lost, I think, in Brazil to Uruguay, didn't they?
Yeah.
And Uruguay, I mean,
Uruguay
really
looks
good team,
amazing.
defensively very strong, but not one of the best teams in the world. You can't even compare like the talent that they have to Brazil or Argentina. And outside of that, I think it's just a coin flip of who can make the semifinals. And I think one of those teams, honestly, I was just thinking about that on my way in here, is the USA.
Yeah.
I think they can actually surprise. They got a pretty good team.
They could go deep, for sure. I know the consensus in Brazil right now is that this is the worst Brazilian team ever.
It's not great.
No, it's really bad. And
Who is the superstar?
Well, I think
they got lots of
it was
stars.
time for Vinny to be the star, but he's like...
He's hurt. He's struggling.
Yeah, like he hasn't been what I think people thought. I think getting injured kind of messed him up a bit, but there hasn't been someone that has kind of shined. But if it would be anyone, it would be Vinny.
Yeah, it's so funny to think that these people in Brazil are saying the worst Brazilian team ever, and this Brazilian team would destroy tons of teams across the world.
Yeah.
It's just that the level of expectation for Brazil is higher than anything else.
I'm just judging it based purely on World Cup qualifying, right?
Yeah.
And they haven't been good.
No,
They're
they've been
languishing
bad.
right near the bottom of the qualifying. Now, listen, pretty much everyone qualifies the World Cup this time around,
6
which
teams
they're happy
for
about.
sure out of the 10.
Yeah, and there's a couple potential other
There's
berths,
a
right?
7th potential. So potentially
7th,
7 out of 10. So yeah, I mean,
So, they're going to qualify, but it hasn't gone according to plan.
No.
So you're right, it's Argentina's to lose.
Who's going to be the coach?
It's Ancelotti, isn't it?
Is it?
I know, it hasn't been
And
confirmed.
that's the thing,
I
like,
thought it was confirmed, but then it's not confirmed.
But the season ends for Real Madrid at the beginning of June in La Liga, but let's say they make the Champions League final, then it's going to go to the middle end of June. Oh, that's right, yeah. And then this tournament starts. So you're going to bring in this guy who's one of the best coaches ever, for sure, but there's going to be no time for them to mesh with the team, him to mesh with the team, and I have no clue. I really don't know. Brazil don't look up. I think Uruguay is a great show. I think if it's today, the final should be Argentina and Uruguay based on the two best teams I've seen of recent.
Does that work with the
I don't know.
Crossovers? I haven't even got that far. It was just last night, the draw.
Yeah, I don't know how the bracket's going to work. Maybe if it's Group A, anyways.
Still exciting.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, that month of June and July is going to be crazy because you got the early games with Euro and then the later games you got
Copa.
Copa.
Watching football all day again.
Yeah. All day.
I can't wait.
Canada, get in, please. Oof. Just get in. Just get it done.
Session of football.
Oh, session of football. Sessioning.
You could go 18 hours straight.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. All right, Bertie, you got a big question for the weekend?
Yeah, I was thinking about this. It's in the Premier League for sure, and I think it has to do with Manchester City. Is this reign in the Premier League over? And I know it's early days to say that, but they're missing some key players. Every time they miss Rodri, they seem to lose games. They set up what 5? Was it 5 center backs in that game? And 6 defenders in that starting 11, which is including Rico Lewis. Yeah. And they lost the game against Aston Villa. And it was I watched City play, and it was for the first time in a long time under Pep where they were a defensive team away from home against Aston Villa. And I know they have a ton of injuries, but I just feel like maybe the games are catching up to them. And I know it's early, and they can just turn it around once Kevin De Bruyne gets on that side. They get Rodri back, and we won't be talking about City this way. Mm-hmm. But they've been conceding a ton and going away to Villa and losing. And that's no disrespect to Villa. It's just something you don't see from Manchester City.
I think it's somewhat expected, though, right? Coming off a treble win, right? Complacency can slip in. And I love this quote from Pep. It's from the pre-match conference today. He says, "For a long time, we've lived like a cat with how good we are. We needed bad results to say, guys, guys, this is business, guys. It's terrible. We were unbeatable. And then, oh my God, you could not win one game from nothing." That's a great quote, though, right? I mean, cats do live well. My cat, dead now, doesn't live so well.
R.I.P.
But did live incredibly well. If I'm going to be a domesticated animal, it's a cat, I think. And so I get what he's saying. You got a cat? You know what I'm saying?
They live a great life. They sleep 20 hours of the day, goes outside for a stroll, comes in, eats again, and then sleeps.
Yeah, that is
lavish.
Rodri. That is Kevin De Bruyne when his knee's okay.
Yeah.
That is, this is a team that's had everything go their way for a long time. They need this shake-up now, I think. So I'm with you. But I think they're going to bounce back. I still think they're going to win the Prem this year.
Kevin De Bruyne is going to be back in January.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that they win the Premier League.
That's a massive return, let alone what they're going to do in January. But Kevin De Bruyne coming back into the lineup is something that I feel like we need to remember.
That's huge. I'm not convinced they win the Premier League, and not just because of their form, but I really feel Arsenal has learned a lot from last season.
I think so too.
They're much tougher to play against. They do not stop until the very end. Mm-hmm. You cannot count out Liverpool.
Nope. I would count Liverpool actually ahead of Arsenal simply because they've done it before.
Fan, naturally.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
No, but they've done it before. Arsenal were doing this last year at this point. And at the end of the season, they'll figure it out eventually.
That doubt of the potential bottling.
And then where does Villa sit in there? Because Paul Merson just came out and said if they beat Arsenal, they're true title contenders. But that's Merson.
Pep said they were last week.
Yeah.
Of course, when they beat them.
Yeah.
Right? And why aren't they contenders? Right? Since Unai Emery's taken over at Villa, they have been, I think, the third best team in the league. That's over a year now. They're beating good teams. They've got depth. They're a title contender now. Forget top 4. They should be considered title contenders at this point, given what's happened so far.
Yeah. And then, their home form, I think, is one of the best in the league.
Yeah.
If your home is a fortress in the
14
Premier League,
straight wins.
There you go.
Villa Park.
Then you have a serious chance. It's wide open for the first time in a long time, which I'm very happy about.
It's so good. This past weekend and midweek football, it just made
it's truly wide open.
It's so exciting, though.
Yeah. Well, there's a bit of a gap between 4th and 5th now.
Yeah.
But not enough to worry about.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, do you think City are going to win anything this season?
Probably the FIFA Club World Cup.
You don't think so? You don't see them winning the Champions League or the Prem?
I mean, they got to get healthy. They need to get healthy. That's first and foremost. I mean, they're dominant in the Champions League, but it's just if you're fighting for a title and you're fighting in the Champions League, and we saw them do it last season. I just think something's got to go. I'm not sure which one it will be, but I feel like Pep will end up prioritizing one over the other.
I see them actually winning the Prem more than I do the Champions League because I think it's consistency over tournament style football. Like we've seen City have bad games and they have a bad game in the Champions League, they're going to be done.
Yeah.
But I think like Pep knows how to win the Prem and he'll know how to work this team. And with, I don't know, I think that's
What would he prioritize, do you think?
the Prem.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
To be the first ever to go, what, 4?
4 in a
Is it
row.
4 in a row?
In a
He's
row.
won so many, but getting 2 Champions Leagues, there's been a lot of gaffers have got 1 in the Prem.
But Pep
2?
already has 2 Champions League.
I know,
Oh,
but
in the Prem.
with Man City in the
yeah,
Prem.
I don't know. I just like, I think leagues are more important than the UCL. And I think
In England, they are with the fans, I think. I think it's different on the continent.
maybe different. Spain, La Liga is more important. I mean,
Arsenal-
I don't know. If you're a Real Madrid fan, you only care about the Champions League.
Yeah,
But
precisely.
Arsenal and Liverpool still have a lot to play for in Europe too,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah, do they really care about the Europa League?
I mean,
They
no
say
one
the
no
right
one
things.
cares until you get into the knockouts. That's
Yeah.
usually how it goes.
Yeah, yeah. I don't care until the final. Then I really care. It's like, yeah, come on, boys.
Yeah.
And
If
Same
you're
thing
in
happened to me with the
yeah.
conference.
we lose
conference
out in
league.
the last 16, I don't care.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't give a shit.
I know.
you
I'm
almost
just-
would rather get out earlier than at that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because imagine you just
Focus.
make it to the
the
semifinals. Then you get,
disrespect to the conference league and the Europa League.
no, I'm just saying for
only
like
in the context
Liverpool.
of
so that-
Liverpool.
like because they have to. They
It's
have
a
to,
European trophy.
They've won Champions Leagues in recent
I
years.
understand, but you're in the tournament.
Listen,
well, win it.
you'd be gagging for a
Oh,
League
here
Cup
we go.
as a Spurs
Yeah,
fan.
it would be. I don't know. Gagging is pretty strong.
Great.
It's very strong. Possibly.
If they made the League Cup
Is
final,
Ange in here somewhere? or-
Oh my god.
if they made the League Cup final, your world would stop.
Oh, absolutely. But I don't. I want them to win. I just want them to win something. But I'm happy. Listen, despite the results, I'm sure we'll get into it. I'm happy with the way things are going.
Okay, big game against Newcastle this week.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Massive.
My big question was just, can they both find 11 players healthy?
God. Yeah.
Oh.
That's it. We won't get
It feels
much.
like Newcastle are doing a better job of dealing with their injuries than Spurs.
Yeah.
A much better
Although
job.
they,
I mean,
they
we
lost,
saw-
they lost Everton 3-0.
Yeah, but they beat Man United, and like even though
Yeah.
it was 1-0, it was a pretty like they should have probably been up 3-0 in that game.
Yeah.
I think Albert's right.
They
though.
could be missing Anthony Gordon,
Yep.
which that is massive,
Mm-hmm.
and it's away to Spurs. That's a tough one. Like we'll get to 4-4-2 picks. I ended up picking a draw because I can't really split the teams at the moment.
Right. It's tight.
Yeah.
It's tight. Let's take a break now.
Yeah.
And when we come back, we'll rank the weekend matches.
Nice.
And then get to 442picks.ca. Room 442 is brought to you by North Star Bets. Play 442 picks for your chance to win up to $250,000. Make your EPL picks and play for free at 442picks.ca. Welcome back to Room 442. Buddy's not happy right now, sitting on his ass on the couch because Otani's about to sign somewhere.
I know.
And he's pretty sure it's Toronto. But by the time we listen to this podcast, we'll know. So let's not go any further into Shohei Ohtani and a soccer podcast. PL rankings. The most intriguing to the least intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
Good matches this weekend. Again,
yeah.
I say that every week, but they really are. All right, so the games are Palace, Liverpool, Brighton, Burnley, United, Bournemouth, Sheffield United, Brentford, Wolves, Forest, Villa, Arsenal, Everton, Chelsea, Fulham, West Ham, Luton, Man City, and Spurs, Newcastle. What is the least intriguing match of this weekend, Sarah?
I think there could be a few here, but I think it's gonna be Wolves and Forest for me.
Oh,
I had that as well.
Really? Least intriguing?
Even though Steve Cooper's on the cusp, potentially.
That's why I
at
find
Forest.
it intriguing. I want to see if
What's
these players
your-
are going to fight for him.
What's your?
Mine would be between Fulham and West Ham and Sheffield United, Brentford.
I have Fulham and West Ham like way up in my like. I think that's gonna be a great game.
All those I got.
Well,
Fulham, West Ham,
Sheffield,
8th.
Brentford, I have 9, so I wouldn't be mad to switch that around.
I'll switch that. I'm happy to do that. But again, it's
Wait, why are we switching? We're 2v1.
yeah. But now I think about it,
Okay.
I'm gonna switch it. Okay, Sarah. Sorry.
Oh, I don't
no
care.
Embuemo for Brentford. Sheffield United missing so many key players. It might be just a very dry game.
Chris Wilder though, second game.
But what happens when these managers come in to a team that's relegation bound? They shore up the defense.
Yeah.
And it won't be as attacking, I don't think.
Yeah. Okay. So then can we agree then Wolves Forest is going to be the number 9?
I'll give it to you guys.
Go with that?
I'll give it to you guys.
I mean, listen, I'm dismissing Gary O'Neill again as always. in Wolves don't know what to expect week in week out from this
Wang
team.
Hee-chan has 8 goals.
He's
Isn't that
great.
Less than
incredible?
Son. Yeah.
He could be a target for a big club
Yeah.
because you open that Asian market. Ching,
That
ching.
is a Liverpool signing and a half. Is what that is. A
Yeah.
tricky winger who can score goals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Welcome to
I'd love
Liverpool.
him.
Of course.
It's great.
you
It's
would.
fun to watch. All right. So we got at number 10, we got Blades, Brentford, Wolves, Forest. Number 9. Number 8, Birdie, what do you have?
Fulham West Ham for me.
Yes, so do I.
Yeah.
Even though I really think West
that's going to be a
Ham's-
great game. They both have been playing really well lately. I think it's going to be a dogfight out there.
I don't understand Fulham.
I mean, me
No,
neither.
me
But
neither.
like, listen, they've been playing better. I think that's actually going to be like a really tight, good game. There's going to be goals. I had Brighton and Burnley because I think you actually said it at the top of the show. Oh no, we were off air, but you said that's the one game that I feel confident in. A Brighton win over Burnley at home, easy peasy.
Which is great. You might get like 5 goals from Brighton.
Burnley just scored 5 goals, by the way,
I
in their
know.
last match.
They lost
against
Colosio,
two.
though.
Against two.
Doesn't matter who.
Okay.
They still score 5 goals.
5 goals is 5 goals.
And it's yeah. I think that's quite an intriguing match.
I don't know. All right, so you want Fulham and West Ham?
Yeah,
I
and
think-
listen, and West Ham, it's never great during the week. Big win, right? They
Yeah.
picked up there, and they're playing decent football. But again, it's not an intriguing match, even though it's a London derby. That always adds a little added spice, shall we say? But it doesn't really seduce me.
No.
Okay.
Number 7,
Brighton and Burnley.
What do you have, buddy?
Luton City.
I actually did have that as number 7, but
But now that I'm thinking about that, that might be a really exciting game.
I think that's going to
Because
be
they
better.
play the big teams really well.
Yeah.
At the Kenny?
Oh,
I got Palace Liverpool there, much to my surprise.
Okay, I'm good with that, actually.
Just because Palace.
Yeah,
I know.
that's fine.
They just, I mean, Roy Hodgson, they can't fire him again, can they?
Sounds like he's asking to be fired.
I know.
Crazy.
Crazy. They've
Yeah.
they've completely turned on Roy Hodgson.
Yeah, and just 3 weeks ago, it's like, we still love Roy.
Yeah, no love for Roy anymore.
So what's the agreement here, number 7?
I don't mind doing that because I had Liverpool.
Liverpool Palace?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Can we now put Brighton and Burnley?
Sure.
Yeah.
I've done
Like,
it 6.
I'm not. The fact that this is 6 is kind of crazy.
It's all subjective, Sarah.
All right.
matter.
All right. So are we gonna go then Luton City for 5?
Yeah, I've got them there. And listen, this could be City are an
Just based on
injured
the other
animal.
games.
I'd be terrified if I'm going to Kenilworth Road this
So would
weekend.
I.
Yeah, me too.
I'm
Because
liking that
City,
game.
they're gonna win at some point, right? Will they win this in 3 or 4?
4
Winless in 4
now, right?
Isn't that
3
crazy?
draws, but still.
in the Premier League. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Prem, yeah. I think that could be an absolute trouncing. Although Luton are given so much credit.
Yeah.
That game against Arsenal this past week, 4-3.
Oh, awesome.
What
Oh.
a match.
Deckers in the last.
How about
what?
Ross Barkley turning his career around? True
Defense
leader in
level,
that team.
Luton.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
No.
He
that
was
was
going to be
great.
the next big thing in English football, right?
Yeah, when he was at Everton, then he was
Everton.
at Chelsea, and then what happened after Chelsea?
He's been to so many
Oh,
places.
into Nice.
Nice.
Was he at West? No, it wasn't West Ham.
No.
Some weird club.
Yeah, he was at a weird club. I
can't
know
think what
Nice
it
for
is
sure.
now.
I can't think of the other club, but he was at a different.
Let me find that out.
Oh, Villa.
Villa.
Is that Villa?
Yes, yeah. Oh, the Claret and Blue. That's
When
what I
they
thought.
smashed Liverpool 7-2.
Yeah,
Villa.
yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah.
remember that one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so yeah, give Luton a lot of credit.
Yeah.
But I think they'd be terrified seeing City come to town. Okay, we got Man U, Bournemouth left. We got Villa, Arsenal. We got Spurs, Newcastle, and Everton against Chelsea. So 4th most intriguing game of the weekend. Sarah, let's start with you here.
I went for Everton and Chelsea as number 4.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I did. Chelsea are horrific. They're terrible to watch. And we know we can't back them. Meanwhile, Everton, coming off the back of that 3-0 smashing to Newcastle, that's great. I mean, this game, I think, is going to be really interesting. I think I just put it 4th compared to the other games. And I'm assuming the other match that we're comparing it to is Man United Bournemouth.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Just the storylines with Man United. They played their best game of the season this past week, midweek. Who did they play? I'm totally. I watched the game.
I
watched the
Scott
game.
McTominay scored 2 goals. Come
I
on,
know,
you can do it. Come on.
I really can't.
Come on.
You got it.
I
You
have
can do
no
it.
clue.
Let's put Sarah in the spot. You're going to figure this
I
out.
watched the game. I remember seeing McTominay score. Everton beat Newcastle.
One is a missed penalty from Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, I know. It was brilliant.
Saved by who?
I can't remember. Oh my god! This is.
Come on.
No, I can't. This is a concern actually.
Birdie, can you help out Sarah?
Please.
No.
Okay, guys, who did they play? Can you just tell me?
We'll give it to the end of the show to figure this out. Okay?
Yes.
Who made the save? Remember, it's like the start, stop.
Nah.
Chelsea?
Oh my god, they did play Chelsea.
Sanchez made the save, right?
Yeah. Oh my god. No.
You just talked about how bad Chelsea were. Like literally
Isn't that
36
crazy?
seconds ago.
Isn't that a bit concerning?
Yeah.
I actually got
you know
hit
what?
in the
It's
head.
called middle age.
I got hit in the head in football last Friday, like really
Oh.
bad from behind. Guys,
That's not good.
That explains a
No,
lot,
it's
actually.
actually really bad.
That's not good.
It was really bad. Anyway,
Was it head or just hitting the head?
No, I broke free. I was on my own racing towards the keeper and I got taken out. A guy just ran into me from behind. My head swung back and that's how I've gotten a concussion before in football. No, it was
Did your teammates sort him out?
Yeah, like it was bad. It
Was it
was
a
really
scrap?
bad.
Yeah,
I had to get sent off the pitch to get like a
Concussion protocol?
2-minute check back in. Like the ref was like, you got to take a minute.
Did
And
the guy get his ass kicked?
He didn't even get a card. Like he didn't even
No,
have.
but
like,
any of your teammates go in.
yeah, they're like they didn't do
didn't.
anything like crazy, but they were just like.
Oh,
like
you're stamping his head in the ground.
That's disappointing.
Aren't you?
oh no,
You can't have a dude like taking down a girl.
No, then it's
can't
fine.
take
The red
someone
card
out
is fine after that.
from behind.
Yeah.
I'm running full pace, and he comes from behind. Like what?
That's
do
a
you
Vinnie Jones to the neck.
That's a you don't.
And
know
he
how-
wouldn't do it to a girl. Nothing against. Listen, I know some tough girls. You're tough.
Yeah.
My wife terrifies me. I'm not saying that, but a big fella from behind taking a girl down on the pitch. That's not cool.
Would you go Vinnie Jones on Gaza? Grab his
balls?
Grab his balls. Yeah.
I might actually.
Isn't that insane that he
It's
did
the
that?
best picture ever.
Oh my god.
That's Gaza at Newcastle too. Right? That's
yeah,
old.
that's crazy.
Okay, sorry. So we going 4. We going Everton Chelsea. I won't argue. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's fine.
Crazy.
Even though I think
Sorry,
that'll be a
guys.
good game.
Just a concussed
3.
girl.
We got a United Bournemouth. Right.
Yes. How about
2.
players back in the back
Villa
in the
Arsenal
manager?
and you got Spurs Newcastle. Number 2.
Tottenham Newcastle too.
I
Yeah.
have them as 2 as well, just simply because of the injuries, and I love the Spanish coaches going head to head. Unai
Emery.
Ñarreta.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening. Hello,
Good evening.
guys.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Wait a minute. The Spanish coach is going head to head. I'm pretty sure Ange is Australian.
No, it's in Villa
I'm pretty
Arsenal.
sure
Oh, in Villa
and
Arsenal. Okay.
Who has the concussion now, Sean?
You know, yeah. Well, listen, we know my brain issues.
I think
Yeah.
Eddie
documented.
Eddie Howe turned down the Celtic job, and then Ange got that job.
Yeah,
I
I think you're right. And neither one can regret it now.
Yeah.
Worked out for both of them, right?
Yeah, well, I guess.
So, yeah, Spurs Newcastle, despite the injuries, it isn't quite the marquee match that it should be because of the injuries, but it's still an interesting one.
Oh, it's going to be great.
It really is. And will Ange switch his tactics at all ever, do you
No.
think? No, he won't. Stay with it.
He was pissed off, and it was because he kept saying conviction,
Yeah.
not being able to finish and kill games.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll change his style. I think he just wants his players to be better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And Villa Arsenal, I mean, my God, what a match that is.
Oh, it's going to be
What a
fun.
match.
Come
Villa
on,
coming off a win
Villa!
against City. It's going to be, I mean, who knew that before the season? I think we all rated Villa as being
But
maybe a
not
dark
like-
horse, but this is a marquee match now.
Yeah.
Wicked match. 2 attacking teams. I'd say Villa's more attacking than Arsenal actually this season so
Yeah.
far. Is Ollie Watkins for real?
Yes, and he'll score in this
Probably is.
match.
You think so?
Man, the goalkeeping for Arsenal is a disaster.
Yeah, it's
You
not
have two
great.
number ones who probably shouldn't be
Oh,
number ones
playing like
on
number ones,
many
yeah.
teams in the Premier League.
I know Arteta was singing Raya's
Raya.
praises.
He wasn't
this
good.
past
Yeah,
week,
he
but-
was.
There we have it, though. Least intriguing to most intriguing. 10 was Sheffield United against Brentford. Number 9 sees Wolves, Nottingham Forest. At number 8, we have Fulham, West Ham. Number 7 has Palace, Liverpool. Brighton, Burnley at 6. 5 sees Luton, Man City. 4, Everton, Chelsea. 3, United against Bournemouth. 2 is Spurs, Newcastle. And the most intriguing match of the weekend is Villa against Arsenal. Time now for a break. When we come back, it's 442picks.ca. Room 442 is brought to you by North Star Bets. Play 442 Picks for your chance to win up to $250,000. Make your EPL picks and play for free at 442picks.ca. It is 442picks.ca time, and I knew it was coming at some point, but it's happened this past week, midweek football, and Albert Vertanian has made his move. He surpassed me in the standings. It's still pretty tight, Bertie, but you made your move, and now it's between you and Sarah,
Yes.
albeit early in the campaign.
Early days.
All right, let's start with you, Bertie. Congratulations, by the way. Which
Thank
game
you.
are you focusing on this week?
I'm going with every time I look at the board, I always try and find a free hit. And the free hit this week, you're welcome, is Brighton against Burnley. Brighton is going to absolutely destroy Burnley. I know they scored 5 goals and they're looking better attacking-wise, but you're going away to Brighton, who looks to be turning back into the Brighton of last season. I know it's only been 2 games, but they look a lot better. And I just feel like defensively, Burnley can hang with Brighton.
We'll see. You're just missing that 5 goals midweek. We're going to see maybe your company's turned it
if
around.
they do score 5 goals against Brighton, Brighton will score 6.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that could happen.
That's how I see it.
All right, Sarah.
Arsenal, Aston Villa, like we said, the probably the most intriguing game of the season, and I'm going for Arsenal away win. Is it a 4-4-2 tactic? Who knows? But listen, I can see this going. Aston Villa beats City. Arsenal beats Aston Villa. It's one of those weird ones, but Arsenal have shown that they got the dog in them this season, and they will fight until the very end. We saw that against Luton, and that is the only difference I'm taking, because Aston Villa has been spectacular. Expect goals in this game, but I think Arsenal just will fight until the very end, and they know how to score in a last-minute game, and that's going to be the difference here. But this one, it's going to be goals. It's going to be goals.
I'm taking Everton against Chelsea, focusing on Everton. These boys are under the perfect manager for their predicaments in Sean Dyche. They're going to get at that soft underbelly of Chelsea. And listen, they haven't played great at home. I think they got their second home win during the week, albeit a good one against Newcastle. Really important there. If they've figured out how to harness the Goodison Park energy, they're going to just trounce a soft Chelsea. So I'm taking Everton in this one. Big 3 points for them, which would take them into the top half of the table if they weren't, of course, given that 10-point deduction. 442picks.ca, that's your destination. It is free to play every week, every month. Loads of money to be handed out. Room 442 is brought to you by North Star Bets. Play 442 picks for your chance to win up to $250,000. Make your EPL picks and play for free at 442picks.ca.